today we're going to be talking about these beautiful, wonderful accessories behind me. That's right, scarves, darling. Scarves are amazing, versatile accessories, one of my favorites, and really cheap and easy to find at thrift stores. I've gotten all of my scarves used and none of them cost more than $5, I would say. So go out, find a scarf that you are excited about, and then I'm gonna go over today a bunch of different ways to style them. I'm excited. Alright, so first some general tips. When I am tying scarves, a lot of the times I like to have them in a thin band rather than as a loose square, and to do that I will fold the fabric over on itself, sort of like you would a bandana, so that it doesn't unroll on itself. Once you get to the end of the scarf, there will likely be a little triangle left over, a little straggler if you will, and to hide that I usually just make sure that I tuck it onto the back side of wherever I'm putting the scarf. So if it's on my neck, I make sure I tuck it to the inside of the scarf and then pull it tight so that that little triangle doesn't poke out. The next tip is when you're tying the scarf. So there are going to be two ways to do this, and one will end up with the two little tails sticking sort of up and down, which might in some instances work, but a lot of the times I want them to stick out to the sides, sort of like along the edges of the scarf. So if you tie it with the right loop going into the hole of the tie for the first knot, and then do it again with the right side, you're going to end up with the top bottom. But then if you do the first tie with the right side of the hole and then switch your hands over so that the loop is coming in from the left side, then it will sit flat. And this is hard to explain, but hopefully when you start doing it, it'll just make more sense and you can practice a couple times. Alright, so onto the styles. The first one is just tying it tightly around your neck and then tying it again to be secure. In this instance, I definitely would use the lie flat method of tying so that it doesn't sort of poke into your chin. The second style is very similar to first, almost exactly the same, except instead of tying it tight to your neck, you're going to tie it a little bit looser somewhere towards the medium point on the length of the scarf. Not going to be a huge difference, but it is another nice option. The third style is a little bit Carrie Bradshaw, I won't lie. It's to tie the scarf around your arm and use it as an arm accessory. So I do this a lot. I think it's a really interesting way to make an outfit that might not have much else going on in it, just sort of pop. Might seem really silly, like what purpose does that serve? But purpose is not the name of the game in this instance. And I won't lie, there's something very satisfying about having it tied on your arm, especially if you have a longer scarf. It can flow sort of dramatically downwards and then blow in the wind as you're walking into the room. Good stuff. Up next, we have another similar style, but this time we're going to position the scarf on our wrists. So again, very Carrie, and again, a little bit impractical, but it does have that sort of dramatic effect, and it's a really fun way to wear it. Then of course you can always make this into a more bracelet type accessory by just tucking in the flaps and having the scarf lie flat on your wrist. Fun fact, I couldn't dance at all until I one day wore this scarf on my wrist, and then it was like the music just took over my soul through the scarf. It was really bizarre. So, you know, if you have any trouble dancing, just really rock one of these and it's a game changer. Alrighty, moving right down the body, we have got the belt tuck. So tying the scarf into the belt loop with wearing a belt or without wearing a belt. This one is a little bit easier because you don't have to keep adjusting it if it's falling off of your arm. It can just stay there and provide that nice little splash of color. And this does feel a little bit like cheating to count this as another style, but yes, of course, you can move this to any belt loop and get a sort of different effect. Next, we've got the double loop tie, which might seem really similar, but I think it actually does provide a different look because it's not as bulky, the knot is not as concentrated, and so it sort of just spreads out the look a little bit, and I do recommend this, actually, just trying it out to see if it might do something different for your outfit than just a one knot would. On to the head location. So, great tip is if you ever have bedhead or any sort of other unfortunate hair moment going on in the day, a scarf tied around your head is a great way to distract the people, and then all they're looking at is your beautiful scarf and not the mop of hair that you have somehow on top of your head. I do feel when I rock this, especially in this yellow-white combo, like a tennis player. And of course you can turn this thing around and create a very similar look, which is maybe the subtext of this video, although I do think that even just a little bit of difference in an accessory like this can make a big difference overall for the outfit. So back to the neck region, instead of rolling it this time, we are just going to tie the scarf around our neck, but let it flap and hang out, which is a little bit of a French Parisian look, if you will. Actually, I have no idea if that's true, it just came out of my mouth. But I do think it's a cute look, and it does draw a little bit more attention to the accessory, so this makes it more of a feature on the outfit. And then yes, you guessed it, you can absolutely turn this thing around and have the flared loose part on the back of your shirt instead of in the front. Okay, next we have a different scarf because having at least just two sizes is really nice. The yellow one is great for tying around the neck because it's not too bulky, but then this red one, as we will see, makes a great shirt. If you step one, tie it around your body, step two, that's all. You can adjust the length by tucking in the fabric to the top of the scarf, and I think it's almost magical when you can pull it down and push it back up. This is a great style to layer, so if you don't want to have almost your entire bare chest open in public, you can also just grab a shirt or some sort of outer layer and have the scarf peeking out from underneath. You know I'm gonna say it, yep, you can turn it around, and I think this is a really interesting look. I don't know what it would look like on somebody who has more of a chest area than me, so something to explore. But I do like the framed look of the triangles coming in from the sides and then tied into a mini knot, and I also like the look of the triangle going back down the body, and that could be tucked in if you want, but I like to leave it open. So a fun one that I recently discovered actually in filming another video about how to be playful when you're styling your clothes, which I will link to right here, is the scarf shirt over an actual shirt. So taking a plain white tee and adding just an interesting element to it that it's not going to be exposing like the scarf shirt, but it still has that similar look to it, which I think is fun. Next we have got the full belt loop. So using this scarf as a belt actually can work and is a nice way to maximize the amount of belt options you have. The last style for today is taking a longer scarf, and this could work for the shorter one too, but I liked the red look. And again, going into the neck and tying it in a thick band, so when you're doing your initial folds, making that a little bit thicker, and then going so it's tight, almost like a choker, and then having the little ends either stick out or you can tuck those in for a flat look. I lied, there is one more bonus one because I tried to jokingly put this on almost as a cape, and then it made me feel like Superman, of course. And then I thought it was a style challenge to myself, like how could I rock this in a way that I might actually go outside in? So I gave it a try, not saying I would definitely rock this out, but also not saying I definitely wouldn't. Alright, that concludes the Styling the Scarves tips video. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments below which style number was your favorite, and also if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, as always, leave them down there. Really appreciate any feedback. I'm still new at this, so, you know, whatever you've got for me, nothing negative please, but I do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a beautiful day, have fun rocking the scarves. If you want to show me what outfits you create, I would love that. Send me a message on Instagram, I'll link that down below in the description. And otherwise, just be your beautiful, bold selves in whatever way that works for you today. Alright, bye y'all!